Hello, Forspoken fans. This is Big Daddy D coming at you today, recording a video to help you with the resources of the Lucid Bloom Cluster and Garland. Let's go ahead and get started. For those of you that have been playing Forspoken, in order to get a hold of these items, which as you well know, they're very hard to come across, the Lucids are necessary in order to get the cloaks and the necklaces up to the higher levels in the game, and you don't come across them very often. Like I said, they're a very difficult resource to collect. I found this particular location later in the game, in the Janoon area, really not too far from the city of Sepal. As you can see, just a little bit to the northwest, I'm in the Sepalian Way section. Again, this is later in the game, after you've gone through the Silas and Prov storylines, I believe. You can get your access to this area. There may be another way to get there sooner. I didn't come across it, but again, if you get to the Sepalian Way area, specifically what you want to do is start off at the Locked Labyrinth Castle, and I'll go ahead and zoom in here for those of you who like the closer up map. So it's a gazebo on your way over to the main castle, and then to the west or left here, there is a treasure chest area with a Goliath. And this particular area is where we're going to be going in order to start gathering this resource. I'll go ahead and zoom back out. So we're starting off in the pavilion. Again, you don't need to go through the labyrinth in order to do this. You just need to enter into it and then exit it. It's a way to go ahead and reset the enemies so that you can do this over and over again. So again, to the west or to your left from the entrance, we want to make our way over.
You just sit there being a prick.
As you can see, there's this rocky outcropping that kind of looks like an arrow pointing off into the western direction. We want to head towards that. And then just to the right here, you can see an opening in the cave ceiling. And as we look down, we see the Goliath. Go ahead and lock onto it and do a cuff scan. For those of you not familiar with Goliaths, they are scattered about throughout the maps in different areas. They're a tough customer, but if you find an effective and efficient way to defeat them, good on you. This is what we are going to need to battle in order to collect this particular resource. As you can see from the descriptions, Goliaths are very sensitive to Olas's magic. That unfortunately comes later in the game. It's the green or wind or electric magic, and again, you don't get it till later on. I do find Silas's magic works fairly well against the Goliaths as well. But you may be partial to Prov's magic or phrase magic. Whichever one you use, if you're going to find an efficient way to go ahead and kill them, go ahead and use that. These are tougher enemies, so it may take a little bit longer than I'm going to take in order to complete this. I'm a much higher level at this particular point, and I'm playing the game for quite some time. So we go ahead and back out, and we'll go ahead
Gonna be tricky.
and drop in.
Look out!
Oh, damn.
Oh, there we go. Oh, charge.
Got you on your toes
Here comes.
now.
Get a little distance, build him up. Getting hit here, that's quite alright. A lot of life.
Right in the sweet spot.
Jeez. Alright.
Gotta work
There we
it
go.
over there.
So I got that up to grade A, 441 experience points. Not too bad. So also a great enemy for you to use to level up as well. What I love also about this area is not only is it really easy and quick to get to and from in order to do over and over again, but there are no other enemies here that you have to worry about. Sometimes with some of the other locations for the Goliath, they'll have other enemies there that you have to worry about and kind of work through so that you can focus on the Goliath. No such issue here. You can just go ahead and lock on and face him mano a mano. And as you can see here, in this particular instance, he dropped 2 Lucid Blooms. So that's 2. That's great. You'll also find that he may, depending upon the rating, also drop 4 clusters, which later in the game, as you get the ability, you can convert into blooms. And then on a rare occasion, they'll drop a garland. So complete the fight, and go ahead and head back to the east.
Not at all. Feel free to shut the fuck up.
To the labyrinth.
Forever.
I'm speechless.
And we make our way back. Go ahead and enter in. Let's take a couple of seconds. Again, now you're in the entrance to the labyrinth. Again, you don't need to go through it. Just go ahead and make your way over to the black obelisk here. Activate and return back to the entrance. And hopefully in short order you'll be back to the entrance. To the gazebo. Again, make your way to the west or left. Head for the pointed outcropping. It looks sort of like an arrow. Make our way to the opening of the cave. And as you can see, the Goliath is respawned. Lock in. Drop. And if fully charged, go ahead and use your Tempest. You can make fairly quick order. Quick work of him.
Not a compliment, I take it.
And that time, 504 experience. I've gotten as high as 633.
It's not much, but you never know.
And this time it was 4 Lucid clusters instead of 2 blooms. 4 clusters will turn into a bloom. 4 blooms turn into a garland. It's really the Lucid blooms you're looking for ultimately. So sometimes you may want to consider going in and getting hit a couple of times just to lower that grade on the fight. I've noticed that with A's and B's, I'm much more likely to get the blooms than if I get the star rating and get the 2.0 on the drop. Don't know why that is. Maybe because it's a volume of 2 blooms versus 4 clusters, but really you'd rather have the 2 blooms. Otherwise you got to collect 8 clusters to get that. So again, enter into the labyrinth, exit out right away, come back, and the Goliath should be reset, drop in, and then
Seems
wash,
kinda
rinse,
slow.
and repeat.
Yes, that might not be your only concern here.
Ooh. All right. Yeah.
If you do the 2 or 3 and then charge and hit, the charge will set them backwards. As you can see, I got the 2.0, the star rating. I got 630 on the experience. And with the drop, I got 4 of the clusters, which again, I can then go ahead and turn into a bloom if I so wish. And again, it's just really fast to make your way back to the gazebo for the labyrinth, and then over to the Goliath. And then once you've built some up, this is really not too far away from the Janoon Castle Tower Refuge. Now, the Janoon Castle, that's the location you're in at the beginning of the game, the first city area that you're in. So you get to this section fairly quickly in the game. Unfortunately, you can't get back to it once you've moved to Sepal until much later. So we'll go ahead and fast travel there
Journey's end.
and
Wow,
show you
that
our
was
progress.
What was I
So
gonna
as
make
you can
again?
see from here, you can go ahead and craft later in the game and be able to turn some of these clusters into blooms, and blooms are what you need in order to get the upper levels on the cloaks as well as the necklaces. So as you can see here, I've got quite a few blooms already. I'll go ahead and go to an upgrade option and just pick a cloak I haven't really worked on. As you can see with the hooded cloak, I haven't done the blue or green magic, so we'll do the green magic here. Again, you start off with having to do the craggrass, and that's usually like the first 25 levels or so. And then after level 25, it switches over to the Shore Violet. That takes you to 40. Oh, 41 in this particular, no, to 40. Then the tall aster. Tall aster, I think, takes you to 55. Then we switch to the Janu mantle with the lambent clusters. And again, this can vary on the combinations depending upon the magic or what it is you're trying to level up. And then we switch to the lambent clusters, in this case with the craggrass. At 65. At 70, now we're on to the lambent bloom with the shore violet. Then we move to the tall aster with the lambent bloom. Jadoon mantle. And then when we get to level 85, that's when the Lucid bloom kicks in. So I've been working on it for a little bit. I should have enough Lucid bloom here to get me through to 91, which is where the Lucid bloom drops off. And then we go back to the lambent garlands in this particular instance, which are easier to get in my experience. And then here we are maxed off at 100. But again, those Lucid blooms can be really difficult, can be a real game stopper for you basically. So hopefully the method that I've shown you using the labyrinth to fight the Goliath on the wash, rinse, and repeat should be able to do that. You know, maybe a fight every couple of minutes or so, and that'll really help you level up. So that's it for now. Hopefully this video works well for you. You've enjoyed it. I'll have more to come if I find some others as well. Thanks a lot. Bye.